This Denise Allen is the current person on the board. John Hall, who's a Hubbard Township resident, and John Messersmith from Hartford Township. They'll each be allotted 3 minutes by alphabetical order. This is where it's probably going to change a little bit. So we're going to vote by ballot. It's going to be a written ballot. However, the aspects of the court order are going to require us to make it an open vote. You will come forward, you will sign your community's name on the top of the ballot, Hubbard Township. You will make your selection, you will surrender the ballot unfolded to Rebecca, the secretary. After the vote is complete, after the roll call vote is complete, she will tally the votes. She will then announce the votes by the community. Hubbard Township, John Smith, Liberty Township, Joe Amadisiak, whatever it is, but it will be public. The records will not be destroyed. That is the elements of Judge Logan's order. Any questions on that? As we go forward with the revision of the bylaws, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the meeting, everything and anything we're doing now, thanks to Attorney Finnemore, is paralleled under Ohio Revised Code. So if it is deemed unacceptable by our bylaws, it is automatically covered under 370903. When Finnemore came up with these things, he paralleled both acts to be the same. However, 03 did not qualify how we vote. I've been doing this for about 12 years now, and it's always been this way, and it changed recently because of a court action and an opinion from Attorney General Wine, 011. It was the state of Ohio versus Cincinnati School District. So that, in effect, changed. It's kind of hard to find in your sunshine brochures that we're all given and we all took classes on, but his decision is predicated on the Attorney General's position of openness in Ohio government. Okay, with that in mind, does anybody have any questions about the process so far? Okay, at this time we will go into the candidates. We'll do it alphabetically. Denise Allen, please. Good evening. Ms. Allen, we're going to
Okay, no problem. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to see such a good turnout tonight. 5 years ago, I got elected to this board on my own merits. You elected me to represent the people of Trumbull County, and I'm proud to say that I have done so. I again ask you for your vote tonight. A good board member should become educated about the health needs of the community they represent. I've educated myself by attending health workshops, state and national Board of Health conferences. My main interest in serving on this board is to bring my knowledge of public health to the table to help make sure our county is a healthier place to live. Daily, I work as a microbiologist. I see the harm that can happen to a person when they get infected by bacteria. It can make you very sick and, yes, even kill you. Even though no one likes to upgrade their septic systems or tie into sewers, can you imagine how sick our community could become if that didn't happen? Even though serving on the board can be challenging at times, I have enjoyed it. I've always been an active member of the board and hope to continue to do so. With my overall healthcare background and deep involvement in the youth of this community, I feel I bring a valuable resource to the board that is not easily replaced. So please, as you vote, consider what you're really voting for and who you're really voting for. I represent myself and always have stood on my own merits, and I would appreciate anyone supporting me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Alphabetically, the second individual is Mr. John Hall of Hubbard Township. John?
Yeah, I'm John Hall. The reason I'm running is because I'm trying to instill the public's confidence back in the Board of Health. It's been lacking as of late. I think we need to get the public more involved get the information out there, let people participate at the health board meetings, like it used to be, like it should be. Not the greatest public orator, so bear with me. Some of the things I'd like to do is work to try to sunset this consent decree we're under. Trumbull County's substantially in compliance with it. I think we could go back to court and possibly get this burden removed from us. Try to bring our county back down on the same level with the rest of the counties, save for one. It would be more attractive to businesses and residents to come here and allow people to buy and sell without this undue burden of replacing septic systems that there's nothing wrong with other than they're old. I'd like to see us continue, the health board, my trustees have done a wonderful job keeping this landfill out of my neighborhood over there. I'd like to continue in that vein. If the people don't want it, we should empower the local governments there to continue to, it should be up to them if it's coming into your community or not. I mean, it's a significant health concern to have a landfill in your backyard, and if you don't want it, so like it says, I would like to commend them for fighting against the EPA, just Transrail and everything like that. I'd like to see a performance audit done, see where we can save some money. This is all your money, my money. I'd like to try to save some of that, comply with the state law that says that the prosecutor shall be the legal representation for the Board of Health, because we're paying significantly for private legal counsel. Also have unless it's changed recently, an out-of-state accountant. There's plenty of accountants here locally. We've got county officials. I mean, we could do better. Like to complete the licensing council, get the tattoo guys represented on there, the body alteration. I'd like to see plumbers and septic installers included too. They're licensed through it. Lastly, I can be completely impartial on this board also because I'm not licensed through the Board of Health. I have no personal animosities against anybody. I think I can come in here to represent you, not any kind of special interest or anything like that. I don't think anybody deserves any special treatment. We done. Lastly, I have the full support of Senator Cafaro also. Thank you.
Good evening. Some of you probably recognize me as Hartford trustee for 16 years. I chose the last election not to run again for reasons that were family related. After 15 months, I have became a little itchy and decided it's time to get back into public service. Maybe this group should be a very good challenge. I have no axe to grind with the health department. I represent absolutely no special interest group. Most of you received a letter of who I am. Just to reiterate it, I graduated from the Ohio State University with a Bachelor of Agriculture. I spent 2 years in the United States Army as an officer. I went back to YSU and acquired my high school teaching certificate in science 7 through 12. I taught in public school. I was with 2 private industry groups. Unfortunately, both of them went out of business and my job was terminated. And as 16 years as township trustee. I know when the phone rings, the people on the other end either have a problem, they're mad or glad, and very rarely I found them to be glad. If they're mad, your job is to diffuse them, find the answers the best that you know, and send them to the places that they can get the answers and questions answered. I do not know the answers to all the questions. Quite sure. The health department, unfortunately, has come under a bad situation. Septic is the #1 product. It sells newspapers. But when you look at, and you will see it in your tonight, you probably have the annual report from last year, from the TB testing, to the rabies program, to child seat programs, to the immunizations, the vaccinations, inspection of manufactured home parks, water samples, which is going to be a big thing, I think, with the drilling of the natural gas. There's many programs that are very, very good, and you look in there and see how many people that are employed and what they have done. It's an amazing group of people working there. I have no desire to micromanage any organization, what type of needles they should buy, or where should, if you hire good people, have supervision, they'll do their job. I think that I can bring some stability, and with my background, I can work with the board that's currently in place, and hopefully the health department will continue to go forward. Are there any questions from the voting members? If not, yes, sir.
You said you wanted to bring stability to the board, and do you identify anything now that you would utilize to bring stability to the board?
I have, maybe I should have used a different word. I'm not trying to bring controversy to the
No,
board.
you said stability.
Stability?
Right.
I should have used the word controversy. If there, another.
You said you're trying to bring stability to the board, and, you know, but in which way were you wanting to bring stability to the board?
As positive reasoning and thinking out programs logically and working with the members to come up with a solution that would be admirable. Yes, sir. I don't think you're a voting member.
I'm not, you just asked for questions.
If not, thank you for, and I appreciate your support.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the candidates' presentation to the board. At this time, we're going to start the balloting process. I'm going to repeat again, this is going to be a ballot. The community will come forward, but they will have their pass with them. They will sign off on the top part of their ballot, the community that they're representing. And then they will check it off, and then they will surrender it unfolded to the secretary. She will then, after she tallies and certifies, then we will read the vote count aloud, like you, Rebecca.
Okay. Do you need any help when you running it out?
Trumbull County Commissioners. And this will take a bit more time than we usually do, so that we get it all formed. Township. Bloomfield Township. Farmington Township. Fowler Township. Green Township.
Yeah.
Spelich Township. Hartford Township. Howland Township is absent, so Hubbard Township. Johnston Township. Kinston Township. Both Liberty Township and Mecca Township are absent, so we'll go on to Mesopotamia Township. Newton Township. Southington Township. Vernon Township. Vienna Township. Warren Township. Weathersfield Township. Hubbard City. Portland City. Village of Lordstown. Village of McDonald. Village of Newton Falls. Village of Orangeville. Village of West Farmington. Village of Yankee Lake.
How many times can Barzak vote?
Unethical,
Stinks.
point of order.
Three times. 3 times. His buddy Smith voted 6 times.
Council only takes questions from an elected official. If the elected official represents your community here.
Could you speak up? You can't hear back here. I'm sorry. Thank you.
If you want to speak to the board, then the elected official will be here. Convey the question to him or her and let them repeat the question.
I believe the question was, Mr. Barzak voted twice when you put 2 communities, is he allowed to use that?
I believe he is, as long as he has a letter from that particular community. Secretary, yes.
The letters are up here and they have specified the person that he is to vote for, so it just doesn't get the vote.
I need to speak to my representative. Mr. Hovanek, can you pose a question if that is a proxy vote?
I can pose a question. by
Stand up,
proxy.
Vanek, we can't hear you.
I can pose the question to the council. He's allowed to vote, which I think was already offered. And according, I guess, to bylaws, the answer was that he has a letter of authority by that community to do so. He can. Normally, it has always been one of the other board members. In other words, if I couldn't be here tonight, I can by letter, as chairman of the current board of trustees, appoint, normally go to the vice chairman and then down if I can't be here. This is the first time I have personally seen that happen, I will tell you.
Mr. Hovanek, as my representative, my question pointed is proxy voting allowed, and is that a proxy vote? In my understanding of a proxy vote, that constitutes a proxy vote. In regard to that, in the bylaws, those votes should be disallowed.
Correct.
As my representative of Champion Township, can you pose that question, please?
I can't. Question posed as stated.
One second, just let me go over this. Under provision 5 of the voting rights of our bylaws, each member of the Health District Advisory Council shall be counted and shall have one vote. And attending a meeting on behalf of a council member, the alternate may vote on any matter on which the member is authorized to vote. There shall be no voting by proxy. Let me continue.
There you go.
There you go. It's gone. Gone. Mr. Hovanek, thank you. Barzak and also Spelich. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Hovanek. Can you pose those answers to them?
Jeffrey, I'm still researching this. Give me 1 second.
Wasn't the village of Yankee Lake? That's the last one.
Can you hold this for a second, please? Just keep it up there on the mic, some questions.
Public, was there anybody else that voted proxy vote that you saw? Was there anybody else besides Spelich and Barzak who voted proxy? Have you noticed? If there is, I encourage you to speak up because I will review the records. And if you want to present that on behalf of me, Mr. Chairman, you're welcome to do so.
I saw one of my customers talk to them and did he leave because my voter person was not here. I want to know why he left. Did he not have a letter?
Who voted on behalf of Liberty?
Stan Newell was here for Jake Story. So I didn't talk to them.
Who went up there to vote for Liberty?
Nobody.
Oh, no one.
Nobody.
Okay, well,
That's what I'm asking.
yeah. If nobody voted, they're fine.
But if here.
But if nobody voted on Liberty's behalf,
That's what I'm saying. So all the other residents.
they're not proxy.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter if they're notarized or if George Bush or Ronald Reagan could have signed them. Their proxy votes are gone.
I had to revert to ORC, and it also says no proxy voting. Under Section A of 370903, I'm going to paraphrase, the Board of County Commissioners, the legislative body of a municipal corporation, and the Board of Township Trustees of a township may select an alternate from among themselves to serve with the president, the chief executive officer, or the president of the Board of Township Trustees who is able to attend any meeting of the District Advisory Council. So that would, of themselves, I would surmise that means that it has to be a board member. If it's I'll say if it was a mayor, he could appoint one of their own, like the president of the city council or council. Correct. If it was a trustee, they could appoint another trustee that's not necessarily present. I'm reading it down, but I figured what pretty much confirmed. So if we go to Mr. Barzak's question, the question on Mr. Barzak, you're representing who? Are you a member of any of those? Are you a resident of any of those? Okay, then we're gonna have to strike Mr. Barzak's vote, because he does not qualify.
We can't hear.
Can you turn your mic on?
Mr. Barzak is not qualified to vote for those particular communities that gave him the authority to, because he's not a member of that city council, board of trustees, or whatever.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who is voting for someone they're not supposed to be voting for? That indeed is the qualification. Your trustee, chairman, you need to be here. If you're not here, I need a letter up here saying that you are authorized to vote instead of the chairman. If you're a mayor, you can't. You should have a letter here that says I'm representing City of Hubbard, City, whatever, of themselves. I believe that means
Mr. Havanek, I think the next point is Spelich. We're going to bring that to the discussion, whether he fits that qualification. I think. Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, sir. In other words, the chairman of the advisory council has asked, is there anybody else that is going to be voting for a community other than one that which they represent? I didn't hear or see of any. There seems to be a concern that Mr. Spelich may be that. It indicated that it was. So not only for Mr. Barzak, but nobody else can vote for other than the community in which they're elected by. Correct. That's correct. They have to have a letter only if they're not the chairman of that respective board or the mayor.
Mr. Spelich, are you representing in what capacity?
Mr. Hovanek.
I would, just for the sake of putting out there on 3709, it reads specifically, in the board of township trustees of the township may select an alternate from among themselves. The debate would be, themselves would be construed to be the board of township trustees.
Mr. Havanek, the second part of my question through my chairman is the proxy vote. The proxy vote is where I have the concern, and if you want to look up the definition of proxy vote, I think Mr. Spelich fits squarely in that with his letter. He's voting on behalf of...
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and that, I posed that question. Could Mr. Spelich vote as a zoning inspector? I don't know that that's been answered yet. The argument could be made that he cannot. He's not a member, he's not an elected member of the community.
Exactly. He's not an elected member of the community.
But Mr. Hovanek, from among themselves means among the people that they represent, not outside that boundary.
Okay, this is Mr. Spealich's letter to us from the village of West Farmington and also the mayor. To Chairman Mayor Patchen, authority to represent the village of West Farmington, I am faxing our authority to John Spelich to represent the village. In this matter, let's err on the side of caution. Just to be on the safe side. I'm going to have to qualify you.
I'm going to be dancing all the way home. Take that, John Spelich. Threaten me.
370903, Section A. A council shall consist of the president of the Board of County Commissioners, the chief executive of each municipal corporation, not constituting a city health district, and the president of the Board of Township Trustees of each township. New sentence. The Board of County Commissioners, the legislative body of the municipal corporation, the legislative body of the municipal corporation would be a city council. Not a police chief, comma. And the Board of Township Trustees of the township may select an alternate among themselves. So there- Okay. Okay, so let's see if it's gonna make a difference or not. I have the phone with our general counsel. I will place a call now. Let's continue the vote. We will hold in abeyance the West Farmington vote until I can get a decision.
Through my representative champion, I would like to pose the question, does it indicate on the letter who he is to vote for?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that in itself defines a proxy vote, and I think your legal counsel will throw it right out, but through my chairman, have at it to call your representative from legal counsel.
I will.
And just to be clear, the only one at issue from all the voting members here tonight, Mr. Barzak's decision, that's already been made. Mr. Spelich is the one that is going to be held at this point. And there isn't anybody else that's going to put this body in that position.
So I don't have to make two phone calls.
Right.
Everybody understand Jeff's question? Anybody else in here that's not voting for the community that they are entitled to represent? I need to hear from you now.
Meaning that they are an elected official within that community. It's either the chairman, mayor, or appointed by the chairman or mayor as an elected official to come in.
Council or another.
Council or another
Themselves, elected
or
officials.
fiscal officer.
A member of the board. Correct. Okay. Anyone else? I don't want to make one call.
With a letter. With a letter. Everybody has a letter. Is there anybody that doesn't have a letter that's here that's not a chairman, or not a mayor, or not the president of the county commission? They would all have, those of you who are here would have letters that are already submitted, or you'll submit it when you go up to vote.
Commissioner Hetzel, sir, when I impose upon you to use the phone. For the public record, I have these two letters I'm going to call on.
Okay, I need a break.